the idea, it seems to me, to maintain carpet, whether you're in a healthcare facility or a school educational facility of any kind, is to do it day in and day out, to not get behind. And I think when the school that I described earlier, obviously they were way behind. Mm-hmm. Getting ahead, I guess, means vacuuming daily, doing spot removal daily, and all that kind of thing. Is that realistic to think that the majority of schools in the United States are ever going to do something like that under any circumstance?
Realistic for the majority, probably not. But you can go online and you'll see school systems that actually have their maintenance procedures online. They've got a site to walk everybody through it. Because here's what they understand. First of all, it goes back, let's say K through 12. You've got to keep contaminants and germs and everything on the floor no matter what the surface, hard or soft. So they understand that. And secondly, as it relates to carpet, they understand that if they take care of the investment, it lasts longer and that gives them more money longer term for capital expenditures. So the facilities guys, managers that understand that, you'll find they're the ones that post on the website, that keep up the regular schedule, and you got it down. It's vacuuming, spot cleaning, and then hot water extraction, depending on the number of amount of traffic over a period of time.
Do you have a preference, a personal preference in terms of method of cleaning carpet? Procedure somebody ought to follow?
We find hot water extraction to be the best with very little to no soap in it, because it just leaves a residue that then attracts more dirt. So that, again, vacuuming, spot cleaning, and hot water extraction seems to be, for most of the industry, what works.
I see. I want to ask you about a product. The product I mentioned on the front end, Student Union.
Yeah.
Something that goes into, various educational facilities that support the school colors. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, before I ask you about that, just about design, what designers who are working on a school system say, whether it's secondary school, K through 12, at the college level, what are they trying to do these days? And as we talked before I turned the camera on, when I went to school, dirt floors pretty much. Nobody really had any sort of bent towards design, and I'm sure that's not the case anymore. Although you had mentioned the situation with budgets, I don't know that gives you a lot of leeway to carry through with a lot of design ideas. How would you describe the emphasis that's placed on design and having a certain look in an educational facility?
There's a lot of emphasis on that for a couple of reasons. You know, through studies, people understand that certain colors motivate and promote learning, as in the healing environment in hospitals promotes, healing. So you'll see paint companies and companies like that will come out with their school colors. The colors that are most used in schools that inspire, motivate, teachers to teach, children to learn. So there's a lot to be said for design in those areas. And then designers understand also that the recruitment and retention of teachers and staff and administration has a lot to do with how the facility looks. You mentioned a facility that was not too attractive a little bit earlier. It's probably difficult to recruit top teaching and administrative talent to that type of school, unfortunately. So they understand that. As far as budgets, as manufacturers, we actually backward integrate into that situation. On the front side, we understand, is it broadloom or tile play, or maybe both? What are the budgets usually for these areas? And we understand that information from those people that specify, the school architects or the school designers or the end users themselves will tell you. So now we know what the budgets are, and we know the look they're looking for, and if it's tile or broadloom, and then we create product from there. So we're pretty much assured that when we bring the product out, we have some buy-in to the fact that we know the products, the look, the colors, and tile or broadloom, what they're using.
Can you be pretty sure that if you're going into a grade school, that they're going to want one of a relatively small number of colors? Is that pretty Is that going to happen, and does that happen in most cases, based on what you just said?
There's a couple ways that K through 12s will do it. First of all, there's a breakdown there. There's primary through third grade, and you'll usually find brighter popping colors. Then as the age group moves up from there to 12th grade, it may be more of a corporate look to it, not as many bright colors. If there are, there's some pops, or there's maybe solid colors that are placed out either for wayfinding or just for accents. So that's really the way they view designing colors for those areas.
I see. Well, talk about student union. Most interesting idea. Talk about that.
The concept for student union came up due to the thought process regarding branding. And if you look at a higher education institution, which is where we're aiming to start with, what's important to an institution? Well, it's to be known, to be branded for whatever it is. And that then follows through with how students or parents respond to recruitment and going to that campus. And then that increases your amount of students at graduation, that increases your amount of alumni, which hopefully in turn increases your amount of donations and things of that nature. So they very much understand the concept of branding and how it relates to the built environment, and how the built environment can help them in the recruitment and just really the perception of their university. So we started with that concept, and then we said, well, we need to get to colors, and there's millions of colors in the universe. So we had to narrow it down. So we did a color study and came up with the most popular school colors. And then there's 15 of them, by the way, in the palette. And we came up with 4 patterns. There's 2 very subtle patterns where it's a gray background with subtle colors in it. There's one that has bold colors. It's gray background, but bold stripes of colors. And there's 2 colors in each. And then really just a gray overall product that then kind of marries up to the rest of them. So if you're looking for an area in a school that really screams school colors, it may be an athletic facility, a student union, maybe a bookstore, something of that nature. So they'll want a bolder pattern that displays bold colors. If you're looking at an administrative area or a place like that, they may want to say, this is our school, but a little bit more subtle. So there's a lot of gray neutral with just tinges of the university's colors in there.
So you can state it very loudly or a little bit more muted if that's the case,
correct,
depending on where it goes. Mm-hmm. I see. That's it. Well, I was thinking, even as we started talking about this, and here we are in Dalton, Georgia, which, like in many southern and other towns, I mean, high school football is the biggest event of the week, and I suspect that there's a home for student union even at the high school level.
That was the other thing we looked at. If you look at colleges, once you get below colleges to primary through K through 12 education, they emulate colleges. If you look at the college nicknames, if you look at the college colors, things of that nature, they get that usually from colleges. So it's just going to trickle down to K through 12.
Whatever they do at the college level is going to end up at high school level. And it would seem like, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of these installations perhaps would be funded by a booster club or something, and not necessarily the school itself. Is that something that you find?
We're just starting to find that out, where all the sources are coming from, but yes. And the great thing about colleges is, like I said, they're little cities, so there's nowhere on campus that these different types of patterns wouldn't apply. So that's the great draw of student union.
Very interesting. Yeah. Well, it's a great idea.
Well, thank you.
And it was your idea.
No, it was not.
Well, you could take credit for it here.
I'm on film, or I would take credit for it.
I think it's a great idea, and I'd like you to show us some of this if you could.
Please, would love to. It features 3 patterns in which the customer can incorporate 15 of the top collegiate colors and 1 pattern that offers a tonal option to create a space as bold or as subtle as the end user would like. Legend, scholar, and tradition enable the school's identity to be easily incorporated into their patterns when the 2 colors are selected. Legend is really more of a tailored look. with subtle pops of the selected colors that vary in intensity throughout the tile. Scholar also boasts a tailored look, but is more contemporary in style and strategically utilizes accent stripes in an even yet random appearance to provide an intriguing visual design element. Tradition is a bold, structured linear pattern that showcases the colors in various color combinations. A designer or an end user can take any one of the 15 colors, they can remove them from the book, and they can mix and match them according to their school colors and decide what colorations they want to use and then in what pattern they want to use. And once they come up with that collection, they can then go online to the Student Union website and they can pick a pattern and they can change colors if they so desire. And it'll give them a visual of what the pattern looks like. They can then decide if they like that. They can put it in different room scenes as they so choose. They can put them in different installation methods. And it gives them a visual of how the product may look in their facility. Then they can request a PDF. It'll be sent to their computer and they can take a look at it and print it off. They can go back and order some additional colors. And that gives them an idea of what the product's going to look like. If they like the appearance, then they can order a custom strike sample from our custom department, and that'll be sent to them within a 5-day period. Sample is ordered through the J&J Flooring Group sales representative. It is then produced within a 5-day time period, and this is what the products will look like. First you'll see Tradition in the bold stripes. Next to it you'll see Legend, more subtle colorations. Scholar next to it, which has the gray background with the stripes of color. And then finally the neutral, which is Champion. And you can see them in 2 different colorways here, a bold blue and gold, and then traditional black and red.